Dear brothers, it's about quality, not quantity.
So guys, it should be your conversation, the way you flow, your presence is enough for a woman to want to be around you, not how much money you spend.
Dear sisters, it's about knowing your value.
My sisters out there, don't be afraid to scare a guy off just because you have standards.
Dear brothers, dear sisters, it's time to come together.
Okay. Welcome back, my people, to the most mature relationship podcast out there. I'm talking about DBDS Live. Thank you all for joining. I'm your host, relationship advisor, and author, Chamel Lawrence. And I'm here with my partner, the author, my brother Carl, the accountability coach. And listen, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Make sure you have your drinks up there. Thank you all for joining us, even though Carl in my neck of the woods has been on and off. One moment is sunny. Next moment is rainy and cold, nasty, man. But that's just New England for you. But thank you, everyone, no matter where you may be. And to those who are watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscription button. So not only that, you'll be notified of our show when it appears, but you can also get early access to the other episodes that we have done so far this year. And Carl, man, what you been up to, my brother?
Man, grinding, and just business wise, my partner and I, with our logistics company, we just launched an office in Houston, building a team down there now. So I am officially in Houston. So
salute Houston. Shout out to Houston.
Appreciate, yes, sir. Shout out to Houston. So big God move on that. So and just some other awesome things happening since this transition here. So more info on that to come out. So other than that, man, enjoying working with clients and teaching these men how to man back up and be back aligned in the position they need to be kings. And stop this fairy tale stuff that they're doing and being sympatharians. It's time to be kings and not simps. I hate to say it, but just keep it real. But and I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm talking, and a simp is not a guy that's treating a woman right. He's just doing things he's not supposed to be doing for a woman that's showing no interest to him. So but it's time for us to be kings and take care of our kids, take care of our community, take care of the women that we consider that we want in our lives. And so that's been the gist of it right now, man. Just rocking and rolling.
Man, I love that, man. And everything you stated, the level up is real, my people. The level up is real. And that's what Carl and I are here for, to help turn around this self-defeatist behavior or negative feelings that, listen, a lot of people have towards love and relationships. And Carl, so many people have given up on love and relationships due to their negative experiences. And listen, my brother, I have to salute you because you've been an open book. You share multiple times your negative experiences, but yet you still believe in love and you're very much pro-marriage, which you state. And I'm sure the audience would like to know, but how are you still able, my brother? You're still able to have a positive attitude towards love and relationships. You have not turned to the dark side. So how is that, my man?
Yeah, Jedi mind tricks. No. The reality is who I know who I am as an individual. And I always tell people I was born to be a husband from day one. So it's not something new for me. And I decided to be married again. So I never let that situation that went on in my marriage sour in my mouth and in my spirit. Yes, it hurt. Yes, there was things I do, but that's where you do the real work. I did the real work. I focused, and again, first thing I did was take accountability of myself. What could I have done better? What did I allow that I shouldn't allow? Where were boundaries I should have set? All that, the accountability starts with me. Regardless what somebody else does. And I focused on that. And then I focused on being actually healed to a place where, because we're always consistently healing, but I healed to a place where I desire a relationship. And it's not because I don't want to be alone. It's but because I know what I can offer somebody else. I know what I offer. I'm not gonna use the word bring to the table, but in that essence, I know what I can give to somebody and what I have to give. And so why give up on it? Just because you got to dig through the soot to find the diamond. It shouldn't be if everybody can find a diamond that easy, everybody would be married and everybody would be happy. But to find the diamond for you, you have to dig through the soot to find that particular diamond that you want, clean it off, make it shine, and make it yours. And that's what I'm doing.
Man, like always, man. Gems. Love what you stated, man. My thing is, and my brother, man, just thank you so much for just being vulnerable, because just getting a glimpse of your relationship journey that you share with the DBDS family, and to me, it's a prime example of changing the negative to a positive, because every relationship is a lesson learned as long as you do the work, which is more than just healing, as you stated equitably, but such as, you have to be open-minded to platforms such as ours, or maybe you need to see a therapist or a counselor, or you can take a relationship course such as Marriage College, in which I want to give a big shout out to Pastor Paul and Pastor Donna for coming up with this amazing course. Man, I feel like I'm going back to get my bachelor's degree, whatever like that. But they are part of Shiloh Christian Church. And I'll put the ticker at the bottom of the screen if my people want to know more about it here. But thing is, what's good about it is that it's well thought out. You can take assignments. You have these great conversations with other married couples in which you can learn off their experiences. So in turn, it makes the foundation stronger within your relationship. So if you're married or if you're interested, please reach out to Pastor Paul or Pastor Donna by going to their website, which is www.shilohchristian.com. And also, if you're serious about doing the work, then make sure you get a copy of my brother's book, You Say You Love Me, But Do You Respect Me? It's right here. I'll put it right up on the screen. Again, You Say You Love Me, But Do You Respect Me? Such an amazing book. I'm going to go ahead and put the ticker up there as to where you can purchase this amazing book. But Carl, man, this book, I told you the last time we was on the show, I cannot put this book down, man. I just can't, it's just very well written, and I personally believe that your book is changing people's perspectives on relationships, man. Anything you want to add to your book, man?
Real quick, like I said, if you order directly from that site, it's going to be autographed, and I'll send it to you directly. But the biggest thing is, like I said, just to be able to collaborate with these amazing men on this thing but it's coming from men who have been married multiple, for 10, 20, 30 years. It's coming from men who have experience in these fields, certified. So it's not coming from your Pookie and Ray Rays out there. This is real life, real talk, real conversation that will show men how to actually earn the respect that they're looking for. And it also teach women to understand how the respectful dynamic works for these men. So even for me, I got my own copy that I have. I'm reading regularly, highlighting, looking at stuff. On a daily basis, I'm always looking at stuff. These brothers, man, they got nuggets in there for me. It's just helping me to grow. And I'll end it with this. If you're not willing to pay the cost, you're going to stay where you're at. Change costs. Financially, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. You have to grow to make it work. And that's how you've done the work, because you feel yourself being stretched and you feel yourself desiring more knowledge and how to be the best version of yourself. Because if you're the best version of yourself, you're only going to entertain and deal with somebody who's the best for you. Not a I know my worth mentality, but no, I'm the best version for me. And this person's the best version for myself on top of that. And you guys will make a good couple from there and grow. So definitely get the book. It's been a blessing to my own self, reading the other.
Go ahead, put up on the screen again, man. Yeah, the book is very well written, And I just want to go ahead and put up on the screen again. So those, remember, it's a special feature on dearbrothersdearsisters.com. The ticker is at the bottom of the screen. So if you want to get your autographed copy, make sure, get yourself. You won't regret it. You know, it's an amazing book. And one thing that you pointed out was respect. You know, that's the key phrase within this book. And I think that is one of the most essential building blocks in order to maintain a healthy relationship. But I'm glad, listen, brother, I'm glad you're still strictly pro marriage, because most people will give up on lover relationships and use the excuse that they'd rather be single for the rest of their lives, and not knowing what they really did or self-reflect in order to come out of that rut, you know, because some of our brothers and sisters, they will use outside validation or money to fill that void because they have not done the work, and that's what's keeping them single, where deep down inside they want to share a life with someone else, you know. So with that being said, my brother, now it's time to pivot to our show, which is titled Protection and Providing, Why We Both Are Responsible for It, which I'm really looking forward to. I'm looking forward for the nuggets. What you think about this topic before we get started?
I think it's a big one, because I think a lot of people will get to see how, and again, it looks different, but it's the same. That's all I can really put my finger on. Protection and provision from both looks different, but it's the same. And it's ideally necessary to have a healthy relationship. If you're not doing that, I always say like this: if you're not doing those things, if both are not doing it, then somebody's giving the key code, the password to the enemy to come through the back door. It's just that simple.
Yeah, that's true, man. I mean, valid point, my brother. And it's been a lot of controversial talks throughout the year related to poor examples of protection, such as Jada tainting her husband's reputation. Listen, my people, that's not a form of protection. Or Kiki outright disrespecting her significant other on social media, and vice versa. Both did not provide empathy as to why they will both feel a certain way. And it's sad because most of our brothers and sisters, we glorify this behavior. You know, it's almost as if love and hip hop and these social media influencers brainwashed us to think that this is normal, and it's extremely abnormal, you know. So listen, but let's not keep the people waiting, man. We're ready to bring our guests into the studio, man, because I'm excited, man.
Let's bring in these two amazing guests. It's gonna be good.
Oh, it's gonna be juicy. Okay, that's what I'm talking about, class in session. So let me just go ahead and get rid of our nice little background, my people. Thank you again, everyone, for joining. Boom, there you go. I love StreamYard. Shout out to StreamYard for this amazing platform. And we're gonna go ahead and get the ball rolling. So our first guest coming into the DBDS Live studio is our very own. She is the DBDS moderator and provides excellent relationship advice. I want to welcome back my DBDS sister, Cameron, to the DBDS Live studio. Hey!
Hey, Mel. Hey, Carl.
What's going on, Cam?
How's it going?
What's going on, Cam?
I'm backstage.
Yes,
here.
look, she's excited. She's hype.
I really am hype. I'm hype. Shout out to Carl for the H-Town move and the book and all that good stuff. And Mel, shout out to you and April with Marriage College. That's amazing.
Thank you so much, my sister. So listen, we have some new people, new viewers coming into the DBDS Live studio. Please tell the people a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and why you're on the show today.
Well, so you can find me heavily on Facebook, namely in the DBDS group. So if you haven't joined, hop in there. Seriously, we have some amazing topics that we talk about. Really, I mean, you know, we're just all in there vibing and trying to be the best that we can, not only for ourselves but for our partners. And yeah, just in life in general. But for the most part, I hail from the ATL, and I am a child advocate. I am an author, and I am
Mm,
currently, I have been, I guess I've been the initial guinea pig, but I've been beta testing a coaching program with some clients. So I've got some things in the works. Of course, I'm gonna, share with the DBTS group fam first and foremost, but before I take it to market. But yeah, that's what I'm working on.
love it. You got so many different things going on right now, but every single aspect that you are doing is helping our people out there. So I commend you, and I'm really looking forward to hearing your gems on today's topic.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited about this topic. It's necessary, and I think we do a good job of bringing hard topics or hard conversations and
Facts.
really looking at them from different perspectives, because at the end of the day, there's no one perspective. Everybody's coming to the table with their own experiences. Um,
Mm.
so I'm just excited to see what we're able to bring to everybody today.
Oh, I love it. Love it, man. Oof. Well, we definitely got some amazing backup. So next coming into the DBDS Live studio is a sister who does not follow the trend, as well as most of you guys coming into the DBDS Live studio. You guys don't follow the trends. You guys are all dope. But my sister, she's very positive. In fact, she is so positive that it's contagious, and that's why I had to get her back on the show. So I want to welcome back my great sister Toya to DBDS Live.
Hi, hello. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello.
Welcome back, my sister. Welcome back.
Thank you, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Like I tell you all the time, anytime you ask me, I'm never going to tell you no, unless
Uh,
I have to work, of course. But definitely got
that
my
means a
full
lot.
support.
Absolutely love
Definitely.
it, love it. So
Mhm.
tell the people a little bit about yourself, where you from, and why you on the
Okay.
show today.
Okay. I'm Toya. I am from Florida. I grew up in Florida. I was born in Colorado. I'm in the Air Force. I've been in for 19 years now. I have a 12-year-old daughter who thinks she's 21 already. And I am just loving life. Honestly, I am truly blessed. The Air Force has been very good to me. And I'm here, honestly, to give my opinion and also learn from you all about
Mm,
just, the topic at hand, protecting and providing, and why we both should do it, not just the man.
okay, I love that.
Yes.
And by the way, my sister, thank you so much for your service. Just want to
Oh,
put that out there.
Thank you.
thank you
So
for the support. Appreciate
You
it.
yeah.
you and Carl. Thank you.
Of
Oh yeah,
course.
absolutely, absolutely. So, I mean, we're in for a great show. Before we tune in, man, let me just give some shout out to the family. More people are coming in, but shout out to AL, shout out to my sister Johanna, shout out to Prissy, to my sister Neves, Coco Diamonds, whole list of other people. Don't worry, I'll be putting your name out there. But thank you so much for tuning in. So it's time to pivot to our first subtopic related to protection and providing, why we both are responsible for it. And the first subtopic that we're going to touch on is protection is a two-way street. I mean, I think this here is self-explanatory, right?
Mm.
So let me go ahead and put the ticker up here. So please understand, people, that protection is more than just physically defending your significant other, in which, of course, Carl and I, or mature men, we do. We take pride in that in every aspect. But there's also ways that our sisters can protect your protector, or such as holding a man accountable for his actions, where he may hurt himself or his career. That's also, I believe, a form of protection. Or in many situations, violence should never be the first resort. Don't let this love and hip hop and all of these negative naysayers will tell you otherwise. In fact, I believe that when a woman cares about a person or cares about her man, she normally does not add fuel to the fire, but instead she keeps her man emotionally centered. Because trust me, your divine intuition may end up saving your man's life
That's right.
or going to jail or worse, being 6 feet under. And of course, again, this is vice versa. But Cameron, I mean, we spoke about this offline, especially during our sound check. And we, you provided some great examples due to your past experience. But what other ways that both can protect each other?
Um, I'm gonna say a safe space for each of our vulnerabilities. Um, Especially where
Mm,
it comes to the area of trauma that we've experienced. And trauma is subjective. You don't have to be physically abused in order to have experienced trauma.
Mhm.
Feeling abandoned
right.
as a child growing up with a parent who wasn't warm, didn't hug a lot, didn't say I love you, that's traumatic for a child growing up. um, and
Mm,
if it's not addressed in a sense of being aware of it, that can easily show up in relationships as an adult. So, you know, safe spaces, they mean a lot to me personally. Um, and you had mentioned about Jada and Will. Could you honestly say that they have created safe spaces for each other? Can we say yes?
mm.
I don't think
No,
we can.
Oh, no, not at all.
Not at
no.
all. And
Mm,
so typically you want a safe space in private, but we're seeing real time in public where it's obvious that a safe space was never created, or if it was created, it wasn't consistent, it wasn't fed
mm,
enough, it wasn't I guess made a priority enough to the point that it's all out in public. So yeah, that's my take on it. Safe spaces for vulnerability.
I mean, listen, my sister. I mean, great minds think alike, and I love what you stated because those are not great examples. I mean, my whole thing is, and one thing I just want to add, another way that you can protect your significant other is through prayer. And I don't mean to sound churchy. I mean, today is Sunday, my people, but the reality is there is no greater protector than God, especially in this day and age. But Toya, most of us think in dire situations that in order to protect our partner, to show that we care is always default or is due to physical confrontations. And
Mhm.
certain people will push you and manipulate their partners to do something that they may regret, because every action there is some sort of consequences.
Mhm.
But why do you think most of us glorify this sort of behavior? And also, what are other ways we can protect each other without going to the extreme?
I think a lot of it comes from social media. Honestly, I
Yeah.
think that we, unfortunately, we glorify the behavior because we're always posting on social media, and if we want to go back, it's really toxic behavior. And if we want to go back, it really depends on the person's upbringing, how they were taught to be. Like I'll just talk about me, how I was taught to be with my significant other, how I was taught to be treated, my
Mm,
own trauma, that type of stuff could really affect how I communicate with my partner. So as far as the protection, you said it best. Prayer is that's it. It's the most important thing. The most important thing you could do for your partners always pray a prayer of protection over him or her. So it's always been prayer for
mm,
me. A prayer of protection for his safety, for his mind, for his soul, for just him all around. And then pick your battles when you're in public with your significant other. Everything doesn't have to be so serious. Like you said, sometimes we get a little emotional, and there has to be that level of
We do.
trust where if I say something to my partner because I feel like this is about to be escalated to something that it doesn't need to, I need him to trust me enough to say, okay, let me step back. Because we don't have that trust, and that means I'm not providing a safe space for him. And clearly there's no communication.
Man, it's a lot. Very well said. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Can we get another amen? Okay, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Okay. So, yeah, very well said. I mean, everything that you stated is a lot to unpack here, but you hit it right on the nail, Toya, because it shouldn't have to escalate going from 0 to 60 real quick, and manipulating that person to do something something else that may cause harm. How will you feel if you lose the father of your kids due to someone adding fuel to the fire? That all can be avoided by being strategic and knowing when to pick your battles, as you stated. But I just feel like today's generation, we always put in other people's protection at risk, and it seems like if we don't follow that format, then you may be deemed as weak, or you're not a real man, or you're not a real or ride or die woman. But coming from a man's perspective, Carl, what are your thoughts on this topic?
Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. For me personally, I think, as for men, to be a protector as a man, you have to be emotionally under control, because two men going at each other can be very devastating. Somebody can end up losing their life. Like you said, you got to learn when to pick your battles. But we're innate protectors to begin with. If you think about it, as a man, the very first time you do a meetup and a meet and greet with a woman, and you're out, if somebody confronts her or something happens, you're still defending her. You don't even know if you like this woman to be in a relationship with, but that natural protection instinct kicks in. So so for men, it's a balance there. But I don't subscribe to, oh, if you don't do this, you don't do that, you're not a real man. Because again, the flip side of it is, are you, and for a woman, are you protecting him? And the way you protect him is, and I say this, a man's protection comes with conditions. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's probably one of the few things I will not say is unconditional. But a man's protection comes with conditions. And it's not control, like some people may say, but it comes with conditions. So you're dating and you decide you want to go out with a mini skirt on, and you feel that's appropriate. You're going to girls' night out, this and this. Think about this. If somebody does something to you, who's the first person you call? You're calling your man. You're calling your husband. And now he shows up. Now he's got a choice when he shows up. He can end up being in an orange jumpsuit, or he could be buried in a black suit, because of your unwillingness to abide by the conditions. If you're single, stay single. When you're in a relationship, there are boundaries that you have to protect. That it's like I said, when we first started the show, who's leaving? And when it comes to protection, the only way the enemy gets in is if somebody leaves the back door open. That's it. So so that's where the protection comes in. Just like for men, you don't want to be, and I said it goes both ways, men or women. If you're out messing around with somebody else, you're putting that other person at risk. Because if you're lying and saying you're single, now this other guy you're messing with shows up on your husband, doesn't know he's your husband, or this woman shows up, doesn't know she's your wife or your girlfriend, you got a problem. And I think people don't respect those boundaries of what real protection is, and then even protection of talking about your significant other to other people. Because, what if you slip and say something, say, oh, you're mad, you're upset, you're infuriated, and you say, oh, well, Carl did X, Y, and Z, this and this and this. And now some guy standing there that knows you decided to take it upon himself to cause an altercation because of your emotional rage or rant at that point in time, and vice versa if a guy does it. So this is why I say you got to be emotionally and in a good space, and you have to be self-aware, protecting each other. What does it take? It's like the chess said. The queen can go any which way she wants to go, but and everything she does is to protect that king. All the time, and that king is there to protect it. So how are you protecting your kingdom with your behavior? You can't call yourself a queen, can't call yourself if you don't have kingdom behavior. And when it comes to protection, how are you actually protecting it? You're actually destroying the kingdom from within.
Wow, man, very well said, my brother.
Absolutely.
And please, everyone that's joining, please share your thoughts, your comments. Let the audience know, what other forms of protection, not just money, but what other ways can you protect those resources? How can you protect your significant other and so forth? What else can you do it for? Before we come to some comments, man, I want to give a shout out and a happy birthday to my cousin Zemaine. Thank you for tuning in, my cousin. Shout out to Laquita. Shout out to Jessica. Thank you for tuning in. Shout out to Morgan, Ashley, that just came into the studio. So many people. If I did not mention your name, no bad blood, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead. Before we pull up some posts, I just want to add that now that I'm thinking about it, Carl, I mean, I think another way that my sisters out there can protect their significant other, you can encourage him to be his healthiest self, by encouraging him to go to the gym, and work out with you, or communicate with him to why unhealthy snacks may cause like things later on down the road that may harm him, or want preventive health examinations he could take advantage of with his plan. So I mean, I think that's another form of protection, because that's showing that, of course, you want your partner to be on this earth as long as he can, right? So I'm gonna pull up some posts here. First, I'll pull up a comment, then I'll go to some DBDS posts. Let's see. We'll go to the first one
from
here.
Floyd. That from Floyd said, "Hello, my brothers. Looking forward to the show. Great topics. Love you both. Appreciate it, Floyd."
Appreciate that, my brother. Appreciate it. And here we go. The first one right here.
It seems like outside validation or attention from other people may put your partner's protection at risk, whether we realize it or not. Social media has done a lot more harm than good.
Yeah, we're going to definitely do another show on that. Great.
Oh, yeah.
I've been trying to share this truth to sisters for years. It pains me to see how we as women act towards our own men. Our men have enough challenges with the daily grind, yet we don't protect them.
Right. Absolutely.
Wow. Okay, sister, that's out of left field, but appreciate that. Next one.
Right.
I've been with my husband for 20 years, and my single friends always ask me, how can they achieve a longevity relationship? First of all, respect does not mean control, and never put his protection at risk.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. No, the sister left field. You guys are not following the sister code. I love when sisters think outside the box and don't follow the trend. Shout out to my sisters that think that way. And I'll pull up one more comment here. Actually, my sister Latoya. Okay.
Hey, y'all. Just tuning in. Did you guys already discuss protection of the heart in terms of both ladies and gents protecting each other's hearts?
Ooh, that's a good one. Anyone want to chime in on that one? I'll come to you, Cameron, then we'll just go around protection of the heart. What do you think of that, Cameron?
Yeah, so I mean, I think protection of the heart, that's definitely included in that safe space, Wow. I personally feel like my man is strong and courageous for sharing his fears, his hurts, his traumas with me. I think he's the strongest man ever.
You don't see him weak.
And no, I would never use that information against him. And as far as I'm concerned, that's going with me to the grave. If it's going to come out of anybody's mouth, it's going to be him. That's his story to tell, not mine.
Wow.
No, that's not something that I need. Girl, guess what he said and blah. Really? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, in a situation like that, I feel like that's a heart-to-heart connection right there. And that's valuable. That's priceless. That's a gem to me.
Wow.
And it's worth protection. That's worth protecting and keeping sacred and honoring.
Love that. Yeah, next, Toy, I'll come to you. If you want to add anything about protection of the heart, that's a really great one.
I mean, she said it all, honestly. And that's another thing. It goes back to prayer. I'm asking Lord to protect my heart and his heart. Like she said, I see my man as courageous. His heart is strong. And it also goes back to trust.
Gotcha.
If you have that trust, I have no problem giving you my heart, and you have no problem giving me yours, because you know that I'm going to take care of it with the help of God. God will always be the center of my life with any relationship that I have, because without him, I just don't think the relationship would work. So.
Okay. Hey, Carl, look. Yeah. My brother Carl, man. This is a really good one, protection of the heart. Go ahead.
It is, and it's I just a couple quick things. I always talk about the pillars of relationship, and then you build that foundation of the pillars. You got respect, communication, comprehension, trust, servanthood.
Okay.
All those things build towards that, building that heart. You put that heart, it lays on top of those 4 pillars, and you build from off of there. Your everything else you have. So I feel like, and I think Cameron said the same thing too. As a man, if a man's willing to be vulnerable with you, whether he's vulnerable, and if a man's willing to cry in front of you, don't go out and tell your girlfriends, "Oh, he cried in front of me." Don't protect him. If that man's willing to share secrets, don't judge him from what he's gone through. He may have been touched inappropriately. He may have gone through something, and then you're out there telling people about that. You're not protecting his heart with that. You're actually destroying. You're actually putting a knife through his heart, and that's it's a situation. and then the reverse is, as men, you have your woman comes to you, your wife comes to you, and she's sharing a past trauma or something she went through. She might have been sexually assaulted, all these different things. Whatever. That's nobody's business for you to discuss with anybody else. Your job is to protect the fact that she thought enough to tell you something like that. She means she's telling you, you have my heart. I'm putting my heart, and this is what both are doing when they're doing something. They're taking their heart out of their chest and they're putting it in your hand and saying, "I'm trusting you with this."
That's deep.
Will you squeeze it and to explode it, or will you handle it with care? That's what they're asking for.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very well said from the panelists. Appreciate that. That is so true, the protection of the heart. And I love how our sister stated that come to me, trust me, trust you, and so forth. It's just sad these days that some people, it's harder to find in other people when you put those walls down, because someone that's not emotionally mature may go out and tell their girlfriends or tell their male friends about their particular relationship, and I don't know, it's almost in a way a form of emasculating that person, emasculating that man. I'm gonna come up with another comment from my brother Floyd.
It's vital that by being a husband that I protect my wife, but my wife is worthy of protection because I know that she would never intentionally put me in harm's way. Absolutely.
Very well.
And I know that my heart is protected, so that also enables me to protect her as well.
Wow. All right. Great comments from the DBDS family. Okay. Well, listen, now's about that time to take a quick commercial break. I told you guys we're in for a treat. Every Sunday, this is how DBDS gets down, but we are talking about protection and providing why we both are responsible for it. Don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to DBDS Live Studio, and I'm here with my DBDS sister Cameron, my DBDS sister Toya, and my DBDS brother Carl, the accountability coach. And we've been talking about protection and providing why we both are responsible for it. And listen, our next subtopic that we will touch on, which can guide you in the right direction, is providing. It's not just monetary. So this is a really good one. You see the brother praying with the sister and vice versa. So we're going to go ahead and get deep into this topic right here. My thing is, the title itself is self-explanatory, right? And I think this always goes back to putting character first above everything else. And my people, no one is saying that having money is a bad thing. In fact, it's a tool we need to survive and to enjoy life with. But in order for your relationship to thrive, it's mandatory to have substantial traits. So, besides providing tangible resources, you can provide empathy, which is essential because, listen, all relationships have their ups and downs. You can provide support, meaning that you have your partner's back. And these traits, I believe, are, in my opinion, missing in today's society because most people are looking for sponsorship and they're not looking for a partnership. But Toya, how important it is to provide substance in your relationship besides just money.
It is extremely important, actually, because money isn't the end all. So when I think about what I can provide to my partner, words like a safe space come up,
Mm,
love, affection, support. Though that's what I think of, and most importantly, trust. Can I wholeheartedly trust this person? If I'm giving you the safe space, I'm basically saying you can trust me with whatever you want to give me, whatever you need from me. Where you're weak, maybe I'm a little stronger, but I want you to understand that um, I'm giving you this safe space so you can pull all your walls down and just be who you are. So that's what comes up
mm,
for me. The monetary, I mean, yes, we all need it, but
we do, yeah.
we also need the safe space is so important. It's so important, and so is trust. Trust is a big one as well. Support, same thing. Maybe their family isn't as supportive, but you need to be supportive of your partner because they look for it from you more than they do anyone else. So
Facts.
that's kind of that's what I think about when I think about what I as a woman can provide to my partner in our relationship.
Mm, very well said, my sister. Man, I like what you said, Toya. And may I also add, and this
Mm-hmm.
is an unpopular opinion, but I believe for those who only treat their relationship like a business or
Mm-hmm.
have the mindset that marriage is only a business,
Mm-hmm.
will more than likely have issues down the road because, from my perspective, it's much deeper than the material possessions or money
Absolutely.
because money can come and go. I mean, Toya, Cam, Carl, we had this discussion. See, for my thing is I view relationships as a partnership, and I view marriage as a three-way covenant between man, woman, and God from a spiritual sense. And I feel like when you honor your vow to stay together until death, you were giving God the legal right to honor those words. But today, it just seems like instead of understanding those vows for richer, for poorer, or for
Mm-hmm.
sickness and health, those words are like disregarded. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that people truly, they don't understand the meaning when it comes to those vows. But Cameron, what other aspects are important to provide in a relationship?
You and Toya definitely hit on some heavy hitters: love, support, trust. Um, and
Hmm.
Toya, basically reiterating the safe space. I'm gonna say patience.
Mm.
Patience is huge
Provide
because
patience. Wow.
yes, patience. Because think about it, the culture that we live in right now, it's very clickbait oriented. A lot of the relationship quote unquote gurus and coaches out here, and Carl and we've had this conversation before. They've never been married before, people. They've never experienced a divorce. They've never experienced life after a divorce. Yet they're out here giving y'all relationship advice. How's that working for you? So in essence, it's dating culture advice that's being out here that's trending.
Facts.
And just like with social media, everybody's mindset, well, not everybody, but with the clickbaits, it's geared towards quick attention spans, the attention span of a gnat. A gnat doesn't have patience. It's on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. If he's not giving you this, on to the next. If she's not giving you that, on to the next.
Wow.
I don't see any patience in there.
Man.
You know, patience first comes with yourself.
Gotcha.
Sometimes you got to sit down with yourself. Get to know who the real you is.
Absolutely.
Facts.
Instead of being out here in these dating streets faking the funk. You might be fooling them, but you're really fooling yourself. You got to go home with yourself every single day. You got to look at yourself in the mirror every single day. So, my vote is for patience. And if you can grow patience for yourself, you can absolutely have patience for your partner.
I'm telling you, man, the plate is being passed down, man. Okay, that's it, my people. So very well said, my sister Jen. Trying to hold it in. I'm trying to keep a straight face, man.
They're not ready for that one yet.
They're not ready for that one, man. Amen. Okay, just for days, and I appreciate your thoughts, my sister. Valid point, because a lot of these traits that we went over, especially patience, haven't thought of that one. But Carl, man, I mean, what other substantial traits can be provided in a relationship to create a healthy, strong foundation from a man's perspective?
So I'm gonna speak just from the man's side of it, because that seems to be the clickbait, as my sister Cam said, foolishness out here. You know, you have these life coach, never been married, telling women that a man needs to pay you $100 before he even talks to you in your DM type of mess. Yeah, that's right. She's never been married, so I'm just trying to figure out how she even talking. But anyway, but I put a post up, and it said, "Provision of a mature man is not about his money. His true provision comes in the way his relationship with God, the way he prays for you, listens to you to understand you, holds you in comfort, his compassion for you, his concern for your well-being, his honesty, his loyalty, his protection physically and of your heart, guidance for your family, and his willingness to serve you." That is provision.
Wow, that's
from
deep.
a man. That's what real provision is. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Man. Oof.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Oh, let me do it real quick. I just thought about something.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
When we talk about provision, everybody's talking about is money. If there's no money, would you still be with that person? I'm going to keep asking that question. If there's zero money, if y'all living out the backseat of a car, don't matter whose fault it is, but you said you love this man, you love this woman, are you going to still be there if you had to start from scratch?
Yeah, I like that. I mean, for everyone watching the show, I would love to get some feedback on that. I mean, man or woman, if your significant other was broke,
right,
will you still be with him or her? Simple yes or no, if you want to put that in the comments. If you don't want to show your face, just put anonymous. It's okay. It's okay. Nothing to be ashamed of. But this is hard conversations that we need to have, right? So I'm going to go ahead and pull up a couple of comments right here. First one.
Great show, DBDS. What I've learned and provide and being in my healthy relationship is to give each other room to grow, change, mature. Absolutely. Most importantly, always love the person for who they are, not who you want them to be.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I need
Man.
to touch on that, Bill. I need to touch on that.
Go ahead, brother.
That is so powerful right there. Because I heard a therapist say this, and she said, when you hear people leave a relationship and say they wouldn't change, the problem is you knew who they were before you got in a relationship. They didn't change into who you wanted them to be, and that's why you left the relationship.
Wow. Man, that is so true.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that happens a lot today in relationships, Carl?
Yeah, I think because people have a fantasy of what they want. They're attracted to this person. Cam and I were just talking about this before we came on air.
Mhm.
Right.
And the person's not giving you 100 of what
Mhm.
you would require. They're giving you 75, and because you can't get them to 100 and allow them over time to grow to 100, you walk away because they won't change to give you 100 right away. So yeah, I'm just telling you, there are going to be people who are going to get to heaven and they're going to look at God and they're going to be like, God, you never sent me the man I desired. I didn't remember what, and he's going to be like, let's go to the teleprompter. Let's go to the big screen.
Oh,
can somebody get he's going to say, can I get the clicker? And he's going to click.
Bruce Almighty.
They're going to click all these women or men he put in your pathway and said, "This, I got you." See, I keep saying it, but you keep rejecting your blessings because you want to have them to be the way you want them to be instead of what I know what you need, and I'm sending them in your life to fill your needs. But I'm not going to preach today.
Absolutely.
My pastor told me. My pastor told me last week. He said, "Ladies," and he was specifically talking to the single women. He said, "Don't pray to God for no." He said, "Don't pray to God for a good-looking man. Pray to God for a man who's good for you."
Yeah.
And when he said that, I was like, "Man,
wow,
absolutely." We clap on that one because I think sometimes we don't. We don't pray for what we need. We pray for what we want.
Mm-hmm.
So
huge difference, man.
Yeah.
100% huge difference. Yes,
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. And actually, my prayer years ago was, "I want what I need."
Ooh, wow.
I want what I need.
Fire.
Yep.
Man.
And I'm ready for it. Pray for it. You gotta be ready for it.
That's right.
That's the other thing too. Right. Yep.
Definitely got to be ready for it.
So I'll come to you, Toya. So, what advice do you have for some of our sisters out there that they will say, like, I'm waiting for God to send me the perfect man, and yet they don't go anywhere. They're not sociable. I mean, any advice you have for our sisters that are?
So listen, I used to be that woman. I used to wait. No, don't wait. Go out there and date. It's hard. Yes, I get it. We all have we have baggage from previous relationships, but you can never give up on love. You just can't. And I love love. So that's why I can never be on the dark side per se of because this relationship didn't work out, the next one won't either. You have to like you said, the gnat. That's a perfect example. We get so impatient about what we can't see right in front of us when we're with someone. If they don't give it to us in like the first or second day, we like, all right, that's it. I'm done. Patience is a huge one, but you have to get out there. You have to date. You can't sit in the house and wait for him to come find you. You will sit in the house and look crazy. Okay? Coming from somebody who knows. That was me. So I don't do that anymore. You got to get out there and date because that's how you know who's good for you or who's not good for you. Is it hard? 100%. Especially if you're dating for a while and then all of a sudden, like I said, I always pray for clarity and understanding, and you get that sign and it's time for you to walk away. It's going to be hard, but that's okay. Once you walk away, get yourself together, heal, and start dating again. I promise he's out there. And I always tell myself that he's out there, Toya. You just got to be, first of all, you got to be patient and don't fall into the trap that every man is just horrible, because they're not. They're not.
Very well said.
Absolutely.
Okay. I mean, I'll pose the same question to you as well, Cameron. I mean, I hear some sisters that just state, hey, God, I'm not settling for less. God's going to send me the perfect man, 6'5" and abs and everything. God is going to send me that man. Hallelujah. I mean, what advice you have for those sisters out there?
I definitely echo what Toya said. You just got to, yes, put yourself out there.
Okay.
But when you're putting yourself out there, have the mindset of expectation in the sense of, I've got a clean slate here. Yes, the past sucked. Yeah, maybe, the past couple of guys, they weren't the best for me. But of those men, what was the common denominator? I was. They're all different, but I was in relationship with them and the relationships did not work out. Why is that? So stop blaming them and really don't blame yourself. Seriously.
Gotcha.
Forgive yourself for how you showed up, because trust and believe, you showed up in a way that caused those relationships not to continue. Now, that's not to say that they can't come back around.
Gotcha.
And it's kind of like reading a book. The first time you read a book, you might catch a couple of things. Guarantee the second time you read that book, you're going to catch different things. And that might be the situation with someone you dated or were in a relationship with in the past. But again, the common denominator is you. What have you done in that space and time? How have you grown? How have you changed? How have you evolved?
Great question. Yeah, very well said.
I'm over the blame game. Seriously, like it's.
We hear that a lot these days.
It's so old, and I'm at the point now where it's like, you know what? If that's working for you, you like it, I love it. That's it. Because at the end of the day, there's no one to change but self. That's it. That's the key. That's the golden key.
That's the key. Before I come to call and come up with a few more comments, shout out to Mark. Shout out to Minty. By the way, Minty, great topics that you put into the DBDS group, man. I applaud you. Thank you so much for being part of the family. Shout out to Tawana and Cuddy. So shout out to all my peoples out there. But Carl, from a man's perspective, for the sisters that are having a hard time, as they state, quote unquote, finding a good man, what advice you have for them when they state like, hey, I'm waiting for God to bring the right man to me? I mean, what advice, my man?
It's tough with me being a theological person. I always tell people, show me scripture where God picks our mate. He doesn't. Outside of Mary and Joseph, there's no other scripture in the Bible. And that was an assignment for them to give the birth of Christ. So we are given free will. And I believe there are people God knows that are better for us, and he will put them in our pathway. But we have the right to choose who we want to.
Gotcha.
And like I said, as they stated before, we are the common denominator when it's not working. So if you don't get out and you say, oh, I'm going to be prayerful and God's going to show me this person, that's great. That's wonderful. but you're only going to end up dating, I said before, the mailman, the Amazon guy, or the burglar that breaks in your house. That's it.
Oh my goodness.
That's your choices. Maybe the maintenance man, he come over, and he want to lay some pipe. That's it. I don't know what else you looking at, for you. And what you're expecting, if you don't get out and make yourself presentable, you don't. And again, I'm gonna say it this way: you don't have to go. And I tell men the same thing too. You don't have to go out looking. Okay. Go out and have fun. I teach people, date yourself. I did that. I dated myself. After my marriage, I dated myself because I had to figure out what is called like now after 20 years. What do I like the same things? Do I like something different? And I discovered a whole bunch of different things I like to do. And I can attract those women who do that, who like those different things now. But I put myself out there to do that. I didn't sit up in a hole in the wall and said, oh, she's going to come. My Sarah's going to come. My Mary's going to come. No, I didn't sit there and do that. So, yeah. So ladies, don't sit holed up thinking that this person is going to drop in your lap. Get out, go to Lowe's, go to Home Depot.
Gotcha.
Go to the grocery store after 8 p.m.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to help you out, ladies. Take the notes. Lowe's, Home Depot. You ain't even got to want nothing. Just walk through the lumber section. Just walk through the lumber section and look at the wood and just ask for help. Ask for help as you go through there. Go to the grocery store. Find something you don't need just on the top shelf and ask them for help. Not Target. We not up in Target. I was trying to help y'all. We not up in Target. We're not doing that. So I'm trying. Go to the car wash. You might not like washing your car, but get up on a Saturday. Be cute. If it's warm, nice little sundress and the shorts. Go wash your car. I'm trying to seriously. I'm joking. I'm part of it, but I'm trying to seriously help y'all. This is where the men are at. This is where the men are at. I can give you a whole bunch of lists on top of that. But if you don't present yourself, if you don't have the confidence that you can be approached and be attractive and be approached, how do you expect somebody else to feel that same energy coming from you to approach you? Because what you're giving off is I'm unapproachable. Right. When all you do is go to work, church, and home. So
and I like how every little nugget that you put in there, it seems like they're non-verbally dropping the handkerchief and the right man will approach based on how they carry themselves. I mean, at the end of the day, it's that feminine energy that is so contagious that mature men find very attractive. So very well said, my brother. So we're going to go ahead and take one last commercial break. When we come back, that's right, it is our Jerry Springer moment. So don't you go anywhere. This is DBDS Live. Sit tight.
So many people are calling for police reform. And so because they're calling for police reform, they may not understand that there are many organizations who are already responding.
And I feel like you have to really get to know people, see if they share the same core values as you before you get involved with them.
I want to ask a question as to how we got to this place right here where mask wearing, where COVID-19, where public health is all politicized. I really want you all to think about this. How did we get to this particular point?
It's really a nice balance when femininity and masculinity can mix together and just create this awesome, experience.
All right, my people. Welcome back to DBDS Live. Man, I'm here with my DBDS sister Toya, my DBDS moderator Cameron, and my DBDS brother Carl, the accountability coach. And listen, we've been talking about protection and providing while we are both responsible for it. And this has been an amazing show. You know, we had our people engaging into this amazing conversation. And I think this was a conversation that was needed. And if you want more episodes, please download the Pure Moment Network app, which is available on the Roku and Amazon device. Listen, not only that, we're also available on Amazon Music, Radio Public, iHeartRadio, Anchor, you name it, we're everywhere. So please check us out on other media outlets. But besides that, if you happen to be watching us on YouTube, please, very please hit that subscription button. That's another way to show your love and support, and that also helps out with the channel. But now it's time for our Jerry Springer moment, where we share our final thoughts for today's show. So first, I'm coming to my sister Toya. Give the people who's watching your final thoughts for today's show.
So, ladies, it's okay to provide and protect. It doesn't always have to be a man. It has to be a two-way street. Make sure you're providing that safe space. Make sure you're praying that prayer of protection over them. And life will be great. And get out there and date. Get out there and date. Don't be like I was, okay? And thank you, Carl, for all those nuggets on where I can go to. I wrote a few down on my phone. Thank you. But yes, it is a two-way street, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all should always support each other, provide and protect for each other. It shouldn't be one way.
Thank you so much, my sister. And next, I'm coming to my sister, DBDS moderator Cameron. Man, what an amazing show. What are your final thoughts for today's show?
Absolutely. This was an amazing show. My final thoughts are hitting on what I want to say. I think Carl said about the sponsorship versus partnership mentality. You really got to know who you are, where your mindset is when you're out here seeking a partner and a healthy, loving, faithful, honorable relationship with someone. You've got to show up a certain way in order to get what it is that you want. So yes, definitely it is a two-way street. But one key thing to get rid of as of this moment is that there are no good men or women out there anymore. Yes, there are. I promise you there are. But you've just got to say to yourself, you know what? I'm worthy of it. I'm deserving of it. And by golly, I'm going to get it.
Right.
Love it.
And Toya, I intend that, you know, when you not post up, but when you visit those places, he gonna be there.
Yes, ma'am. I'm not
There you go.
Okay? I was manifesting 2024. I'm gonna have a ring on my finger by the end of 2024.
Absolutely.
Okay? It's manifested. I gave it to God. He got me.
Absolutely.
And next, I'm coming to my brother Carl, man. Again, another show, home run right out the park, man. I mean, what are your final thoughts for today's show?
First, Toya, you are so welcome for that. I might send you a few more to you, DM you a few more places to check out. Yeah, I would say this, and I think Cam hit it too. When you think about relationships and you say there's no good men, no good women, here's something to really think about. If all you do is absorb negative information negative connotation, all of that all day long, watching negative videos, negative results about marriage, negative this. You are in the negative trying to go into a positive relationship. You are simply setting yourself up for failure. Yes, it takes time, but as I said before, you have to be willing to go through the soot to find that diamond in the rough. I'm good with doing that and having the diamond that's right in front of me right now. So it's what you have to do as a person to get where you need to get to. And that will allow you, and again, when you have the right person in your life and you get rid of that negative stuff, you will understand truly what provision and protection is for each other. And you have no problem providing and protecting one another, because a true king and a true queen will have each other's back no matter what. That queen will be able to look at that king and know he's in distress and protect him. That king could look at his queen and know when she needs to be shielded without a word being spoken. And through all of that protection, you can build your provision for one another and provide for the legacies down the road on what it looks like to be in a healthy relationship. Finances mean nothing. If you're in a healthy relationship and you hit a pothole and lose everything, the fact that you know you both got each other's back and everybody doesn't need to know you're in the pothole because of protection, when they look back again, you're going to have even more provision because you protected the four walls of the kingdom.
Fire. Very well said.
That's good. That's good.
Like always. Thank you, my brother. And before I provide you with my final thoughts, I just want to, as always, thank this amazing panel for sharing their wisdom. Also, make sure you get a copy of my brother's book. Has a list of other great collaborators, but it is titled "You Say You Love Me, But Do You Respect Me?" Get your copy today. You can see at the bottom of the ticker, www.coachingwithcarl.com. You get an autographed copy of this amazing book. So my final thoughts for today's show is, listen, a brother or sister can provide so much more than money, such as emotional support, spiritual leadership, and logical decision making are all essential for a healthy relationship. Listen, the naysayers may paint this false narrative that protection only ties it to physical confrontation, which is why so many of us is in jail or 6 feet under, and that provide only ties to resources, which is why so many are looking for a sponsorship. But the reality is protection comes in many forms, and money simply cannot buy you love. And once you have a full understanding of traditional substantial qualities, you can then apply these building blocks and get the relationship you desire. All right. So once again, I want to thank this amazing panel and much love to the DBDS family.
Take it away, Mel.
Amen. All right.